BJPen.com here, sitting down with Andres the Bullet Quintana. Looking forward to chatting with him about his upcoming fight on February 11th for Fury FC. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Just got back home from the big gym session in the morning. I feel great, ready to roll.
So Andres, last time you fought in Fury FC, it was in front of the UFC head honcho Dana White. It was expected that if you won that fight, which you did, that you'd get signed to the UFC. How did you feel about not getting the call? And how does that change your approach for your upcoming title fight with Fury FC?
I was coming off a 2-year layoff. I bet you if I got a finish, I would have been in 100%. But there was a lot of controversy. They thought I missed weight for whatever reason, but my opponent was the one that missed weight. I know Fury had like a mix-up on the tape or something, and they had like all of his stats on my walkout, and it was all reversed. So, I mean, it just happens. Part of the game sometimes. Hopefully I'll get a short notice, even before I get my title fight with Fury, of course. It just motivates me to start finishing people again. It's been a little while since I've had a finish. I've had no fights during COVID, so I had like a 2-year layoff. So pretty excited to get back in again, 3 months around or so. And, I'm trying to finish everyone that steps in front of me.
As you prepare for this upcoming fight on February 11th for the Fury FC featherweight title, can you talk to us about anything that you've changed in your training camp this time around?
So I haven't really changed too much. I just bring in a lot more specialists, stuff we're actually going to be doing in the fight, of course. It's probably no secret. This guy's going to try and take me down, and I'm going to try and stay standing, So I've stuck to my boxing, my traditional boxing. I box every single day whenever I train, 5 or 6 days a week. We added in an extra day of sparring on Saturday. We jumped into a high school and youth program, wrestling. So we go and train with these guys. These coaches are amazing athletes. They're national champions. They've done it all, And so we just go over all of our wrestling, whether it be defense, offense, whatever. We're going to be prepared for it all. You might even see me throw a few takedowns in there.
What can you tell us about your upcoming opponent? And what will you need to do to get the job done?
So my upcoming opponent, he's a little shorter than me, of course. Most people are when I fight at 145. I think he missed weight his last fight. I'm not too sure. I know he's missed weight in the past, so he's probably a little thicker. Not a big deal. I've fought people that miss weight. Of course, obviously my last fight, multiple times in combate. I'm used to being the smaller guy in the gym too as well. So we're all going to be more than prepared for that. And he's going to be a wrestler. He's going to come in there. I feel like his striking is kind of sloppy. I think he's training out of AKA. I don't know. I don't really think that it benefits people to change camps mid training camp or not even be in a comfortable spot, and just introducing yourself to all kinds of new people and new way of training. For me, I've stuck to what has worked for me, and I've done well. I've done extremely well. I don't know. My guy's probably gonna be tough, but I'm a lot tougher, and I feel like I'm gonna be able to stop him.
Andres, there was a recent article put out talking about upcoming fighters to watch that aren't in the UFC, and there was no mention of your name. How does that make you feel, and what do you have to say to all the doubters out there?
Hey, look, we're gonna make this real short. I should have been in the UFC maybe 10 fights ago. At the beginning of my career, I lost my first fight, a split decision. Then I went on a 10-fight win streak with all knockouts. Since then, I should have been in the UFC. So, I mean, it's just kind of we're at a loss of why I'm not in the UFC. Hey, look, I'm the best kept secret here. I fought Combate Americas. I fought a tournament, 3 people one night. Finished 2 of them, got a decision on 1. Easy work, What else more can you ask? You guys need me to fight tomorrow? I fight tomorrow. I mean, it don't matter. I'll fight top 15 guys right now. I don't care. It don't matter. I need to be in the UFC today.
Andres, as you were growing up and getting into MMA and boxing, was there anyone that you looked up to that inspired you to fight? Family, friends, any other fighters you looked to, or any idols you had growing up?
Yeah, whenever I first started introducing to boxing, it was on the streets, like a lot of people do. We got boxing gloves from Walmart, and we just go in the streets in El Paso, which I kind of grew up over there. And me and my friends would just box, and I was amazed by it. I was like, hey, I want to be the toughest kid, in the neighborhood, and that kind of just evolved when I moved back to Roswell, I was like, hey, I want to be the toughest kid in New Mexico. I want to be the toughest kid in the nation. And it just kept on growing from there. And, I give a lot of credit to where I grew up. We grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood. Not a lot of crime, but it was more like you grew up as a family with the environment around you, but we just didn't have a lot of money, so we always found things to do. And boxing, kind of guided us in the right direction. Instead of going out doing drugs and drinking and partying, we always wanted to train and get better, and that carried over into my adult life. And so whenever I started getting more into MMA, I had to ditch boxing. I was about 17, 18 years old. I looked up to Nick a lot. I loved his fighting style. I loved how he would come to the head, pitter-patter the head, and just dig the body, Just super tough guy, and he always got the job done. He would usually finish his opponents, and just super pumped. And now Represent is sponsoring me, and they're helping me with this camp, and super excited. I met Nick and Nate not too long ago, a couple years ago, for Gilbert Melendez's last fight. Super great people, really fun, entertaining, and it was just like hanging out with some of the boys.
Andres, what's this I hear about a potential walkout song being made for you? Talk to us about how that came about.
So one of my good friends introduced me and J-Rath and Young Quicks. Make sure you follow him on Instagram as well. And they started, talking to me about making a song for me, a walkout song for me. So I was pretty pumped, and they were like, "Hey, let's make a demo. We'll jump in the studio tonight." And then they started sending me some clips, and they're pretty clean, man. It's a little bit of mix of hip hop and Spanish, so just right down my alley, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Andres, we see you've been growing your fan base as well as your supporters from across the country. What do you have to say to your fans and your supporters out there?
First of all, I'd like to thank my gym. They've been a big part of my camp, of course. Without them, I'm not fighting, I'm not learning, I'm not doing anything. And all my supporters, the shower door guy from Whittier, California, Mike Rome, he does all the real estate. Check him out for all of your real estate needs at mikerome.com. Also 127 Industries, my homie Blake, he's super cool. He's been in touch with me all camp, been giving me, looking out for me, making sure I'm good and I'm focused and kicking back. Also Eastport Market at Canton Lake, California. Make sure you go over there for all of their alcohol needs before and after, for when we celebrate, when we get our title. Mobilionaires, check them out on Instagram. They have some pretty cool shirts and clothing lineup coming out. Punch Gunk, of course, I use them. I've been using them for a long time, actually. Anytime I'm done with training and I'm sore or I have an injury or anything, this is what I go to. All natural cream, beautiful, works great. And of course, Represent, of course I'm wearing them for today. And thank you, everyone, and make sure you follow me on my Instagram at Bullet Quintana. And don't forget bjpen.com. Big shout out. Thank you guys for the interview. Amazing interview. Thank you so much. And I think they got a new Instagram, bjpen.com. Make sure you go follow them for all their exclusives, including my own.